Very, very good afternoon, attendees. Thank you so much for joining. Visa is mainly focused on Q&A, question and answers, mainly just for you. My name is Yash Dubal. I'm the director at AYJ Solicitors, and this webinar will be presented by my colleague, Global Talent Visa. So I'm just here to introduce her. She will join anytime now. So stay with me. Before we jump in, just a little bit of how. If yes, just say yes on the poll button. Yes, great. That's good news. Diana should join very shortly, and she will, of course, run through this webinar. I can do that too, but she is specialized. She's expert. So let's trust the expert. So wouldn't take long. I hope you have something to make note with. What I would suggest is this webinar is focused on Q&A, your question. So your question to be dropped into chat box now. Start dropping your question in the chat box. We will start our camera and here we go. Great stuff. Welcome you all. Thank you for joining this webinar at AYJ Solicitors, focused on global talent visa, presented by as a huge experience. Once we get her on camera, then if you can switch on your camera so that we can see you, and then yeah, here we are. Rihanna is here. Thank you warmly for your time and presence. So we have a few attendees who are keen to hear your views on global talent visa, and of course, they will also submit their questions. More than 7-8 years experience. She is the one who started preparing global talent visa application at our firm and achieved a huge success, not getting the global talent visa first time around. She also has a huge success overturning negative decisions of endorsing body. So that's her specialization. So I would say she's the expert in our team on global talent visa, and over to you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure. Though I cannot see you, I'm sure you can hear me, and I hope so you do hear me. As Yash has mentioned, today I'm here giving you my time to you all to answer any questions that you might have about global talent visa. If people are coming to us and paying me a good amount of money to have their question answers, I will do this today for you for free. And I hope you will find this a seminar of a great success and plenty of interest. And hopefully with my answers to your questions, you will then be able to either appoint us to help you with your global talent visa, or if you're ready and quite confident that you can do it yourself, why not? Just do it yourself. I think I should be probably starting the question or the introduction, what you are going to get out of this webinar. What you are going to get out of this webinar will be my answers to your questions. And with my answers, this should help you make a decision on what's next in terms of your career and any plan of moving to the UK. Now, we all know, or I hope you, those present on today's seminar, you know what is global talent visa. Global talent visa to date is considered the most lucrative immigration visa route for those looking to come to the UK for work or business. It offers freedom in the job market, allows all candidates or applicants who have been successful on the global talent visa application to bring their family over to the UK. And of course, it gives something which not many actually visa applications are offering to candidates. It offers the opportunity to settle in the UK with very little effort from yourself and very little investment in terms of fees that you will have to do. If I was to compare it to an innovator visa or with an investor visa, you have to have some decent amount of money for you to actually be able to make an application to come to the UK. But with this, only what you need, the relevant skills, you have to identify yourself, the relevant endorsing body that you are looking to apply to, and someone ready to help you to succeed on this application. That's all. Now, I'm happy and ready to take any questions that you may have today. I'm not sure, Yash, how is it going to work? Are we going to have the questions on, or?
Sure. So I'll read out question for you, Diana, and then you can answer this question for
Thank
them.
you.
So
Thank you.
the first question I have is process takes for global talent visa. That's the question of Abhishek, and he's asking how many months the complete process takes for global talent visa.
Okay, thank you for the question. It depends on each applicant. It depends how well prepared you are. It depends whether you meet the criteria from the outset, and also it depends how much work you have to do on meeting those criteria that you don't meet. But I'll just take an example of someone who I would say is ready 80 to 90% to submit an application. Average process preparation plus submission is somewhere in the region of 4 to 8 weeks. Then you have 28 days to wait for a decision from TechNation. And then once you have a decision from TechNation, it takes you approximately 5 working days to get your visa endorsed in your passport. And that's because you're paying this extra fee for a priority service. Someone who is not ready with their documentation, maybe 50 to 60%, they normally need something somewhere in the region of, I would say, 12 weeks to 16 weeks. But again, it also depends how quickly you jump in to gather the evidence, the required evidence, and how quick are your referees to sign off your references. So it depends. But I would say take an average of 4 weeks to 16 weeks.
Great. Thank you, Diana. The next question is from Krishna, and Krishna is asking, I'm working wanted to know whether I'm eligible for global talent visa. So how would you respond to this?
Sorry, Yash, can you repeat the question again?
Sure. So I am working, having 14 years of experience. I wanted to know whether I'm eligible for global talent visa.
What is the relevant skill that the candidate has?
Aerospace engineer.
Okay. The number of experience do not actually matter, because at the end of the day, it's all about what you have done in your career as an engineer. So the fact that you are 14 years in the industry, it doesn't actually really matter. But one thing I want to share here, it will be unlikely that you will fall under the promise category, and you will have to go straight preparing your application for talent.
Good. I think I want to add a little bit more here. We need to run through an assessment. So for the benefit of everyone who are attending this webinar, we do it for free. There is some questions you would be invited to answer. Based on that, we can give you an indication whether you do or do not qualify. It's not a definite answer to the assessment, but a short assessment of experience, which can give you some indication whether you could or could not qualify for global talent visa. So for you to take the advantage, by the end of this webinar, we'll provide you with to reach out to the right person in our office to get this short assessment done for you for free. So I'll just now jump on to the next question, Diana, for you. And his question is from and her question is, Todirica is asking question, can I apply for talent visa during my studies? So I'll repeat the question. The question is, can I apply for talent visa during my studies?
The short answer to the question is yes. It doesn't, the fact that you are studying here, I presume is here in the UK, should not stop you from making an application for an endorsement first. So you don't want to submit stage 1 and stage 2 at the same time. Preparing your stage 1 application, meaning you are making an application to the relevant endorsing body. Once you have a decision, then you can then choose whether you want to switch straight away into your stage 2 application. So the answer is yes.
Thank you. So another question is, and he's asking, I have been in the UK for 2 years already on ICT. Will it impact my global talent visa application? As I know, total time I can stay is 5 years.
No. Global talent visa application, there is no minimum or maximum you can stay on a visa. If you are succeeding on a global talent visa application, you can extend and apply for as long as you want. Now, global talent visa offer this settlement. So after 5 years being in the UK on a global talent visa, you can obtain your settlement. But if you don't want to go with settlement and you just want to continue extending this, you can continue extending this for as much as you want.
Thank you. The next question is from Ashwarya asking eligibility criteria for global talent visa and fee structure, please, for people who are from India.
Eligibility criteria, now we need to define the endorsing body that they want to be applying. So I'm not sure which endorsing body this question will be related to, because each endorsing body will have their unique eligibility criteria.
Okay, fine. So I just would like to add a little bit for Australia. Australia, you can reach out to our team by the end of this webinar. We'll give you a link where we can help you to understand whether you could not get through a short assessment, which is for free. But if you have to do enhanced assessment, we might invite you for a paid consultation. I'll just go on to now next question of Ilya. Ilya is asking, in my experience, have to be when describing what you will be doing in the UK when applying for endorsement. That means, do you need to have specific work or business plans, or can you apply achievements?
Okay, this is a question that most of my clients, if not all, when I work with them preparing the personal statement or recommendation, they come back, it's like everything is blank, saying, what am I going to say here? You say, what is your intention? What do you see in the future for you in your career? I'll give you an example. Someone, a software engineering, he's coming from Russia, let's say, and he's making an application to Tech Nation. Now, he doesn't have a job offer in the UK, but he has a plan as to where does he see himself in the next 12 months. So it could be either he gets a job, he or she gets a job, either you may wish to start up your own business. So, and for this, you don't need to provide any sort of evidence. So if you are saying in your personal statement or recommendation, saying my future plan in the next 12 to 16 months or 6 months is I want to establish my own company, I want to become a consultant in doing whatever I am supposed to be doing, then this is what you're going to say. If you are saying I've got a job offer, then you provide a letter of the job offer. Even though it's not mandatory for you to provide evidence about the job offer, by providing this provides much more security on your application. But even by not having a job offer, it doesn't mean that it does not mean that you should get stuck in your future plan. So it's all about what do you want to do in the UK. As long as you stick within the endorsing body guidance, meaning you will be doing the jobs for, or you will be doing the work for the endorsement body that you have been endorsed. Meaning if you have been granted tier, let's say if you have been granted by Tech Nation, then you have to work within the digital technology industry. You can't go and become a doctor. As long as you do that, you will be fine. But just to clear, maybe a shorter answer, you do not need to provide evidence with regards to what are you going to be doing in the future in the UK. It's all about your intentions. What are your intentions in the future? Because you also have to remember at the stage of either extension or either indefinite leave to remain, you will have to be providing evidence as to what you did throughout this period in the industry that you have been endorsed.
Good. I'll just move on to the next question now. And the question is from Jai. I do have experience in ICT security. With 10 years of experience of it, will I be eligible from India?
Again, I believe it's cybersecurity. If it's cybersecurity, Tech Nation loves this sort of skills, okay? So yes, you will be eligible. I mean, your skill set falls within the eligibility provided by Tech Nation, but now whether you are eligible of making an application, it's a matter of assessment. So we'll have to assess what have you been doing so far, projects you've worked on, achievements you have had in the last 5 years or 6 years, and only then a decision can be made whether to make an application or not to make an application. And even let's say you can't make an application at that point of time, when you have the assessment feedback or the feedback on your assessment, you can always prepare and make an application at some point in the future, 3 or 6 months.
Thank you. Next question is from, I'm into IT with 10 plus years experience. I'm into automation testing and I'm looking for global talent visa. There isn't any question. Probably Lakshmikant wants to know whether.
Again, yes, the skills she or he has do fall within the guidance provided by Tech Nation. Just as a feedback to all these questions, whether who have questions regarding skills, there is an entire list of skills, technical and business skills in the Tech Nation guidance, or even you can reach out to us. We provide this throughout the assessment, and through that assessment, you will get to understand the skills that are actually being invited or considered by Tech Nation. But for Tech Nation, it's actually all skills within the technology, including digital and marketing, advertising, anything to do with your digital technology. Yes, it's being considered.
So there is a follow-up question from Lakshmikant is, visa from this year. Do you know what are the changes from this year with respect to reference document and white papers?
Sorry, Yash, can you repeat the question again? There is something is not right with your microphone, probably.
That's okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So Lakshmikant's follow-up question is, do you know what are the changes from this year with respect to reference document and white papers?
There are no other changes apart from the ones that we had them in December. Now, whether things will change in the guidance, we don't know. But to date, as we have this seminar, there are no further changes apart from the ones that have already taken place in December last year. Maybe if he has a follow-up question on this, maybe he would like to be more specific what he's looking for or what are his concerns, and probably this way I can address that.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'll just go to the question of Ilya, and Ilya is asking, when submitting recommendation letters for Tech Nation endorsement, do all letters need to be from large internationally recognized?
No. Answer to the question is no. No. The people that you are approaching to write your references, they have to be leaders within their industry. But that doesn't mean that they have to be vice presidents of Google or Facebook. So if you have been, you look at the location or the zone that you are in, if you are in a small country, or even if you are in a large country, depending on how well known is the company that you are receiving or you are obtaining the recommendation letters. Okay. So no, it doesn't have to, you don't need to reach out to Google or Facebook or Amazon or any other product-led companies to get the recommendations. You look at the size of the organization in your country and how well they are playing within the field of technology.
And he's asking, I'm working as associate scientist for total 15 years of experience. I've completed many government projects like completed PhD. What are the chances for global talent visa if don't have any job offer letter?
Scientist in what sort of domain? I mean, data scientist, or what exactly is the domain?
In space and atomic energy organization.
You don't need a job offer. Again, You fall under the Royal Society, so you will not need a job offer.
To run through a short assessment with us, which is free. We'll provide you a link by the end of this webinar. The answer is to apply for global talent visa, but to find out your eligibility, we need to run through first a short assessment, and if that's not enough, we might invite you for a full assessment. Good, thank you. I think so. It's a good question from Abhishek. Can my company apply for GTV for me, or it's individual application?
It's an individual application. It's not company-based application. So you as an individual, you can apply for a global talent visa.
Good. There are some questions, just this is for the audience, we have been asked, but it's not in relation. So we'll not address those questions here because this webinar is focused on global talent visa, and we want to answer any question you might have today around global talent visa. And if we have missed the chat box, and we'll try and address that question. While we are waiting for more questions from you, I would like to put a question which is frequently asked question. Educate audience around reference letter. What are the criteria? What is the requirement around getting this 3 recommendation letter, please?
The 3 recommendation letters for someone to provide, the first criteria is that they have to be different. Different meaning from 3 different organizations, okay? So you can pick and choose anyone that is related to your field. And of course, you have to look at the seniority of the referees when writing the recommendation letter, but they have to be from 3 different organizations. Now, second criteria is each referee should be considered a leader in the field. So you are looking for referees who have experience in the field that you will be looking to apply. So I will pick up technician because this is the most application that I do, and I'm being asked questions, plenty of questions by my clients. You make sure that the referee who is writing your letter has a background in technology. Okay, it's really important. When you ask them to write the references, the very first paragraph of your reference letter will have to start with the sentence, and I'll say the sentence loud. This reference letter is written in support of Mr. X, who is applying for an endorsement to technician for the purpose of a global talent visa application. Important, has to be written. Okay, if the letter is not written for the purpose of the endorsement, it will be considered as invalid and you will fail the endorsement application. Number 3 requirement is once you had the background of your referee, then your referee will go on and say, how does he or she knows you, whether it's a personal relationship, whether it's a business relationship. So business relationship I'm referring here, whether you are an employee, you work with them, whether you are a business partner, because even that's being considered. And they will have to go in and explain how they know you, when they met you, and that should be the end of it. Then each reference letter will have to address the projects or the work that you did whilst you were either working with these referees that that they are writing the letter, or you might have been in a partnership with them. Okay, that's most of the times applies to those with a business skill. So they will have to deal with the projects that you have worked and where you have achieved the most. Now, when dealing with the projects, it's not sufficient for them to say Mr. X has worked on 3 projects, project 1, 2, 3, 4. He was amazing. No, you go into details, explain what was that project about? What were you supposed to do? Where did the innovation came from? How did you came to this idea, to this amazing innovation? What was achieved? What did the company achieve? And then they close the letter beautifully with a statement as to why they are referring you to technician. Why did they consider you to be a leader in the field or a promising leader in the field in the future? And that could mean anything from But of course, it has to be related to the projects you've worked on, the contributions you brought to the organization, or the contribution that you brought to the field. And also the letter should have a couple of sentences. What is your intention in the future? What do you plan to do if you were to be endorsed and if you were to come to the UK? So even maybe you might not have disclosed your plans with your referee, but do disclose this. Let's say, look, he or she is an amazing leader. Look at the contributions that he or she has done in my organization, and I am positive that they will bring amazing achievement to the digital technology industry. I'm aware that he or she are looking to set, I don't know, a company, or they are looking to work within the same field, be data scientists, software engineering, anything. And then you have to make sure that the letter is signed, dated, it contains all the contact details of your referee. Okay, so do make sure. I came across plenty of letters that were not signed and did not have even an email address or a phone number for the referee. Okay, you will fail. And I'm saying that because I've seen it in refusal letters from the endorsing companies. Now, one aspect I want to point out is if your referee has moved, let's say you were working with the referee to an organization, but now he no longer works for that organization, he has moved to another organization, your referee can still write your recommendation letter, and the recommendation letter not necessarily has to be on a letterhead of any company, as long as it contains all the details needed, like contact details, and as long as your referee can be traced. So if I am a reviewer and I want to check out who is this individual, I'll just type in the name, and possibly and most likely I'll find the individual on Google or maybe LinkedIn. Now, another aspect, important aspect, when you are choosing your referees, do make sure that they held a seniority position. Now, seniority position is defined differently depending on the organization that you work for. If you work for an organization, let's say Infosys or TCS, you most likely will not get a letter signed by your CEO or by the vice president. You might get a letter signed by a senior manager, okay? So someone that is above you within your department, that has to be the individual that will be writing you the letter, okay? So look at the size of the organization and don't get panicked. If you work in big organizations saying, oh my God, I don't have a CEO or a director or a vice president that can write me the letter. No, the reviewer will look at the size of the organization you're coming from. And that should be the end of it for your recommendation letters.
Thank you. By answering this question, Diana, you have also addressed the follow-up question of Laxmikant, where he was asking how the endorsing body, and does the endorsing body reach out personally to the referee, as I have been asked from the referee if they will be reached out from the endorsing body from the UK to them, and will there be any sort of discussion? So how does this verification of reference happens? If
I will share two experiences that I have encountered over the past 12 months. So one was a candidate I've worked on for their endorsement application that was submitted to TechNation. Now, this applicant did have some issues initially. He prepared an application, got refused, then he came to us, then we jumped in. With the second application that he made to TechNation, the reviewer made the decision to reach out to the two companies and one university from which he provided mentorship letters, okay? Now, the interaction between the reviewer and the referee was done via email, and it was a very short email saying, "Dear sir, I am looking at an application received from Mr. X. He's applying for this sort of visa. Can you please confirm what is your relationship with the candidate, and has he, in fact, provided the information in relation to a mentorship?" Then the referee simply replied back, "Thank you very much for the email. Yes, I know the candidate. Yes, we've worked together. Yes, he has provided mentorship. And yes, the letter he enclosed with the application should be taken into account." that was the end of it. They normally don't call. That's my experience. I've never received a candidate or an applicant where the referees might have received a call, but yes, an email could be potentially sent. But it happens in a rare situation, rare situation. The other experience I want to share was for someone that I've helped with an endorsement sent to PACT. PACT is part of arts endorsing body for someone within the filming industry. The reviewer took a decision, picked up one referee out of the 3 that we've submitted and contacted the referee. The same information, say, can you please confirm that you have signed and provided a recommendation letter for this candidate? Simple answer was yes, done. In 3 days, we got a decision. Okay, so if the reviewer wishes to contact your referee, the contact normally takes place through emails, but it happens in rare situations.
Perfect. There are a lot of questions, around qualifying for global talent visa. So it's a very general question, probably for the benefit of audience from me to you is, who normally qualifies for global talent visa from your experience?
I would not want to say everyone, but maybe the simple answer and the most encouraging answer is mostly everybody that has done something in their career and they have had some sort of projects where the project or the delivery of that project has had an impact on the organization or the clients that they have served. Now, it's really difficult to say out of 500 how many they will qualify unless I really go through an assessment with them, okay? But just to give you an idea, or maybe to make it even easier for you to encourage to explore this route, this amazing route, is what is your background? So think about your background. Years of experience doesn't matter, okay? Why doesn't matter? Because I have helped students, literally students, people that have just graduated 6 months ago to submit an application for global talent, and they fall under the promise category, and it got successful. So years of experience for me doesn't actually matter. I would say it might have an impact if you are someone, let's say, with 15, 20 years of experience. 15, 20 years of experience, TechNation, if you are applying through the endorsement of TechNation, they are expecting to see a lot of development in your career, okay? So they will want to see some important projects you have, and they are looking more for leadership, okay? Have you had the lead on any projects for the last 5 years, considering that you are 15 years experienced? But put it this way, look at your background. Have a nice and up-to-date CV, please. I do come across people sending me really old CVs, so I'm not able to assess that. Make a list of potential referees that you might have. Anything above 4 or 5, it's good. Anything less than 5 or 4, it's not really good, because then you can't build up your case. And then think, what do you want to do in the future? What do you want to do in the UK? I mean, I know everyone wants to come for a better life or maybe to explore opportunities, but you have to have I would say, definitive answer, or maybe an idea or a dream. What do you want to do in the UK? Where do you want to reach? So that's the best probably I can share with you today. But again, it's all about an assessment. Come back if you're interested. We'll do an assessment for free, and then we'll let you know whether you qualify. Even for those people that do not qualify at that point of time, we give a feedback, which is quite valuable, because you get to understand where you are lacking in your application or evidence and what you could potentially do in the next few months to make it better.
Thank you so much, Diana. I had like to manage expectation of the audience. To get a very detailed feedback, we would require a paid consultation, ability and how busy she is. Of course, you won't be able to do a detailed assessment at no cost. But what we do is we have a short assessment us to help you at no cost. So if you take part in that short assessment, which is for free, it might give both of us some sort of indication whether we can. So moving on, just if you can share some experience around the refusals, you do receive or you have seen global talent visa application. What are the major reason of refusals for global talent visa, so that might benefit our audience today?
Okay, absolutely. I will probably not go back too far because we had these changes of rules and the way that the global talent visa application are being refused. And I will focus only anything after December 2020. Nowadays, the majority of the refusal that are coming through are from Tech Nation, and the reason why is because they have most applicants. Most applicants go through Tech Nation rather than going through Arts Council or Royal Society and so on. So if I was to share the feedback received by a number of applicants and candidates that they came back to me saying what's next and what can I do, the most common feedback from the reviewer is the fact that they do not identify the candidates to have innovation. Now, that's one of the mandatory criteria, and actually that's the sole criteria of your application. Now, innovation, it's not, I want the audience to understand innovation. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to have patents. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to have built a system and then you sold that system for millions or billions of pounds. No, it doesn't mean that. Innovation, when it's being assessed, is being assessed at the very least level. What was your impact idea that you brought into a project, and how has that helped your idea? How this helped your company or your clients to move on with whatever they have paid you for or instructed you for? Okay, so it's that spark. Not necessarily has to be a brilliant idea, but it's a spark. It's always you, and the innovation, it doesn't come out just from one project, or it doesn't come out just from one subject that you might have worked on. You might gather this innovation from various projects that you worked. Okay, so look, I'll share an example with you. Maybe that might be easier for you. I had a client recently, just a few weeks back. We've just submitted his stage 2 application. He came to us. He was quite young, I must say, but he has been in the industry of advertising and marketing, okay, coming from India too. And he came and said, look, this is my CV. I've done some work, in technology, but it's not actually technology. It's more about advertising, marketing, building up leads and so on. Can I qualify, or would I qualify? Okay, so we would run through an assessment. There was some work that he had to do in order for him to be able to submit this application. But what I want to share here is, with regards to innovation, when meeting that criteria, whether we had innovation, he has worked towards building 2 apps, dating apps in India. Okay. He was not technical, so he did not have any software engineering or cybersecurity, none of these amazing and beautiful skills. Only what he knew to do and what he has been doing. How can I advertise these apps that my company, so initially he established these 2 companies, will be able to sell these apps and encourage people to use it, dating apps. So he worked within the business development, but the industry itself was advertising and marketing. So what we provided for this, we provided reference letters from people that he's worked with. Of course, we had some CEOs, some directors of the organizations. And then meeting again this significant impact, which is another optional criteria, and most of the times it goes hand in hand with innovation, or innovation and significant impact do go hand in hand. Okay. And I'll come back to this question because I just had today a consultation where people are saying, oh, how does it work? And we provided recommendation letters, and we provided, eventually he managed to sell the two companies, but he did not sell the companies for millions or billions again. He sold the companies to, so his two companies, the two dating apps, were acquired by two other Indian companies. And then those two Indian companies actually materialized it and made it work and made it be worth a good amount of money. But in return, what he has received, just 0.1 share in each company. And if I was to monetize this, it's not much. Okay, maybe he gets, let's say, £5,000 a year out of his shares from these two companies. But the way that was presented and the way that we have helped the client drafting the recommendation letters, the personal statement, his intention to come to the UK and what does he want to do in the UK, we have managed to secure him an endorsement with TechNation, and he was given talent, not even promise. And I was quite skeptical, saying, oh, I can't actually do this. I'm not sure if I'm ready to prepare this application for talent, because I have seen decisions where people who are really talented and they have huge years of experience, they were not able to qualify. But again, it's all about preparation, how you prepare, how you present your case, how you present yourself in front of someone who reads your papers. It's all about you as an individual. It's not even about me. My feedback or my role is to help you modulate this documentation and send you off for a reviewer. So through this example, I wanted to share that innovation, you don't need to build a rocket, okay? Or you don't need to build a ship. It's only something that has worked for you and you have managed to probably help other companies to use it, or you have used it for your own company, or your employer has benefited from the impact that you brought in.
Thank you, for answering that. Satya is asking question. He's a IT project manager. Can he qualify? I think it was very
a bit difficult. Okay, Satya, it's a bit difficult. Project managers, they are not very much liked within the industry. So when you are preparing your application, I'm sure project manager, it doesn't mean you just sit and you give instructions. I have seen project managers who are actually either technical or they have the business skills and they help move. Okay, so it's about impact. What's your impact that you are bringing in? What exactly you do as a project manager? Okay, project manager are seen by TechNation more as consultants, but that's again a wrong definition of consultancy. But we did had one candidate long time back, probably 12 months ago. He was a project manager, but yes, he was doing, it was more a combination of skills, the skills he had, technical skills, business skills, and then we made it as an application. So answer is yes, there is a possibility, but we have to assess your skills and your qualifications, whatever you have in the industry.
Perfect. Thank you. This question is around Royal Society as an endorsing body. Would you like to take that question, Diana?
Yes, I can help. I'm not super mega expert in Royal Society. I have done a number of applications, but if I'm able to answer the question, more than happy to do that. Sure.
Let me try. So the question is from Devi, and his question is for science endorsement body, the Royal Society 4, which is peer review. Is there any minimum years from graduating of my PhD?
No. And why I'm answering this question is I have had a query. I helped an applicant submitting an application to Royal Society, and the same question he had, because there was a gap of at least 2 years after he finished his PhD where he was keep looking, okay, what am I going to do? I can't find work, I'm not sure. And I have dropped a question. I have dropped an email to the Royal Society, to endorsing body, and I have asked them, is there a minimum time that someone should not be out of work, or someone should not be within this industry after they qualify or they finish their PhD? And the simple answer is no. We consider applications on a case-by-case basis. And of course, the longer the period or the gap is, the likely is that we may choose to decline that endorsement. But we don't have a certain number of years that you should, that we may not, we decide not to assess an application. So it's good. Look, I knew the question. Good.
Perfect. Thank you. One more is around UKRI. Would you be comfortable taking that question?
No, and the reason why is I haven't handled UKRI applications. And why? Because not many candidates have reached out to me for this. So I haven't done much research on this.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. So, I mean, I have some general question for you, and the general question is around mentorship. I've heard a lot between two criteria. One is innovation, or your experience outside your specialized field. So, what is easier? Let's say, we have attendees here, of course, some help today, right? So that they can submit their local visa application. Now, if you offer them your experience-based expert advice, they qualify between innovation and experience outside their occupation. What is the practical way of going about that?
Good question. I had a difficult question this morning regarding this for a client that is looking to prepare an application to technician, actually. Now, mentorship, or not necessarily mentorship, okay? So when technicians are providing you the optional criteria, it's not that you have to have mentorship. So they are referring to anything that you have done in your field. So it has to be in your field. Please make a note of this, which assisted to the advancement of the sector. Now, I'll give you examples of what could this be. It can be mentoring. What does it mean? You could have joined a startup. You are sitting on the board and you are mentoring this team, okay, based on your skills, okay? So if I am a software engineer, I'm a senior software engineer, okay? So I'll be assisting this company with my skills, okay? Now, how do I identify advancement to the sector? Advancement to the sector doesn't mean your idea to the startup should have, I don't know, changed the entire world of technology. No, it doesn't mean that. It means the impact, the time, delivery you put into this through the mentorship into this company, how has assisted the company to move on, okay, to reach somewhere. And that mentorship has to be structured, okay? So you have to have a defined plan as how you have been mentoring them, who you've mentored. So you have to give examples of the number of people you have mentored and how the mentorship sessions have taken place. Nowadays, during even this pandemic, everyone has been providing mentorship online, okay, remote. Let's say, pick up an example. You are starting a project with a startup and they need you every week to mentor their staff, okay? So then you will say, okay, every Friday for 2 hours or once a month for 2 hours, this is the plan and this is how I mentor them, okay? It's a structure program, okay? Now, structure program, you decide what is a structure program. What is a structure program for you might not be a structure program for the other applicant applying within the same field. And this is where we are actually helping. When people come to us, say, okay, help me to write a recommendation letter, because when you are providing evidence for your mentorship, the best evidence to provide is a recommendation letter. There is nothing else you can provide. Yeah, some of my clients have been providing diagrams and various other evidence, but the best, most simple and secure and safe document to provide is a recommendation. You get a recommendation from the director of the company that you have been mentoring. And this is where we help you how you should explain to the reviewer how you mentored this company. That's one. Other example of work of evidence that you could potentially provide is whether you have been engaged online, okay? Whether you have been a commenter, let's say you are involved in some, let's say, maybe various reviewers, newspaper, newsletters, then you are a regular commenter, okay? So you are providing people's idea, you comment on ideas, anything within the technology. Then that could also be, you take screenshots. The more you comment, the more viewers you have, amazing, the better you make your application. Now, a third probably piece of evidence that you could potentially consider is the fact that you might have been asked by universities, colleges, engineering colleges, technology colleges, you know, come to us and teach, or come to us and mentor our students, okay? And with your mentorship, you could potentially change someone's life, okay? So you help someone to move into the sector, okay? So it actually does add up to the advancement of the sector. You bring up good people to come and do the work that possibly you are doing. Some other piece of evidence that I have used in my applications were people were sitting, or applicants were sitting on a board of reviewers. For an example, I had someone from Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, there is some sort of technology college, but it's not a college, it's more of an independent technology industry, where people from the technology field, they have set up this amazing board, and what they do, they offer scholarships, okay? Scholarships to those who are interested in technology, computer science, anything like that. And my client, he was sitting on the board of examiners. So he was examining the submissions or the papers that the students, or not necessarily students, anyone else who was interested in technology and they needed a grant, he was reviewing this. This is also can be considered as a piece of evidence. And probably the last piece of evidence that you may consider is whether you are writing any articles. So be it in a local newspaper, but it has to have relevance. So your local newspaper should not be an ordinary magazine. So try and attain or try and look for maybe newspaper or newsletters that are written or they do contain some sort of technology information. I have had a client from India where he has published a number of articles in a newspaper. Then he was given an award by some organization. This all adds up to the advancement of the sector. And what do you do in your anything that you do outside of your occupation, outside of your employment?
I just want to ask one question to our audience. And did you enjoy the conversation? Did you get the value out of this discussion today? If you know, just say no in the chat box for us to understand if we are doing something right here, arranging this webinar for you. So if you had some value out of this Q&A with Diana in the chat box to motivate her to do with more work, similar work for you. Thank you. This is what we need. We just need your feedback. We need your appreciation. We need Diana to do to share her knowledge and experience, which is practical experience, not based on theory. So if you get any value out of this conversation, say yes. That'd be helpful for Diana to keep going and do more for you in next webinars. Thank you guys for joining. Just the last part of the, I promised you that will be helping you with short assessment to identify whether you do not qualify for global talent visa with a short assessment. Before we do that, I have a thing to share with you, and that's our success story, which we are extremely proud of. And if with your permission, we would like to share that with you. in just 60 seconds. Are you happy with that? If yes, just say yes in the chat box and we'll run this 60-second video which explains the how we have been helping our client all this. So little bit about AYJ Solicitors. We are 10 plus years experience, multi-award winning legal 500 solicitors firm based in central London. We have 1,000+ reviews on Trustpilot and Google, and there are plenty YouTube video testimonials on YouTube, and I'll share a glimpse of it now in just a second. What we are proud of the most, is we managed to help people achieve a better life and better career in the UK, that in turn also offer better life forward for their children and forward, of course. So that's what we are passionate about, and that gives us motivation to do better job to help people. So here we are, just 60 seconds with you. Here is the video for you. Thank you.
My name is Harish Ranin.
My name is Anand Patel.
My name is Steve Barr.
They really care. When we reach out to them, they understand the moment of urgency.
They were completely different and they made me feel reassured.
After talking with them, it made me feel safe and confident.
AYJ sounded like they knew what they were talking about.
They've been in tune with your requirement. They understand what your needs are.
It's their professionalism. It's the personal touch. They've made me feel that it was no longer my problem.
Really smart and think logically. That's very important. And their logic is very clear.
They have stepped up each time there has been a requirement and have just delivered.
That level of care, that level of attention to detail and willing to go out of the way really surprised us.
AYJ Solicitors are a touch above the rest. They knew exactly what they were talking about. They knew the law inside out.
Thank you. And probably your mic as well. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining. The last, not the least, is if you need our help, we have some options. If you want us to deal with your full global talent visa application, the price is around 7,500. We do literally everything. We provide complete hand-holding support, help with the drafting templates and then reference letters. We provide guidance. Of course, we don't draft it for you, but we provide complete hand-holding support. There is a lot of tweak and twist. We might suggest you prepare your global talent visa application, document checklist, review your documents, liaise with you all the time. It's unlimited legal advice service. Submit your application to the Home Office and also do stage 1 and stage 2. So 6,500 premium package. If you just want us to check application is 2,000, and if you want consultation with the specialized consultants, that is Diana, that would be 300 plus VAT, up to 60 minutes. Enhanced detailed feedback on the eligibility and how to make it work. Of course, we can't make it work in just 60 minutes, but you will get a gist of it or some idea how to go about your with a bespoke advice around your case with some recommendation. But having said that, we have a free short assessment, which I will share a link. And so for that, you can schedule a call. And I'll share his Calendly link right now on your screen. There is an offer to you now. Please just book a call. That's on your screen now. I'll publish this offer on. It'll be helpful for you to reach out to my colleague over a short call, Zoom call, and of course he will do a short assessment for you. First, drop an email. You answer those questions, and then have a short call with him for a free short assessment with Amin. Take the opportunity. Happy to help. Here is the link if you could not find it on the offer page. To all of you being here to make this presentation work. And thank you so much, Diana, for your time. Very kind of you to spend this an hour and of yours around Global Talent Visa. Thank you so much.
Thank you all
now
very much for your time, patience. I know it's difficult, taking an hour of each one's time, but thank you so much. Wish you luck. Be it with us, be it on your own, and have a lovely evening or afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.